And that is how you want to start a game. You know, coming out, you're playing the #1 team in the nation. You want to get the crowd involved. A great set to the outside to Liz Asdell, and a good start for her. It's big for her to have a big game tonight.
Away with the serve. Set up by Penn State. Washington bats it down, and it's going to be a point for Penn State. Great job by Washington with the kill.
Yeah, and Haley Washington's one of the players we talked about who they really need to slow down. Nora Meehan was in position to make the play. She just now has to make the play.
Now Washington will be back to serve. Washington serves over the top of the net, and it's dug up and smacked down. Picked up by Penn State and put over the top. Indiana rebounds quickly, and over the top of the Penn State front. A great hit by Hubers to put up the Hoosiers by 1. 2-1 now in the first set.
Yeah, and what a great tip. Right over the double block. Simone Lee was not there to make the play, and great start for the Hoosiers now.
Hoosiers doing very well early on, not being scared by the Penn State Nittany Lions. Serve over the top by Nora Meehan, and it's going to be a kill for Penn State.
Yeah, setter to the setter. Brianna Weiskircher to Abby Dietering. Great kill by her.
Great job by Penn State to rebound, and now they tie it up 2-2. Now back to serve Abby Dietering. And it's going to be popped up by Bierman and killed by Bierman. A great kill by Bierman to put the Hoosiers back up by 1.
Yeah, great high contact by Kendall Bierman. Hits right through the block. She has a lot of power. When you give her a high set like that, she can do a lot of multiple things. She can do a lot of things. She has a lot of shots she can do.
And they're going to rely on Bierman on a lot of cases on kills today. Back to serve is going to be Fogg, and Fogg will put it up, and a kill right there. What a shot right there by Tori Garrell. And now we're back at 3 apiece. Tie game in the first set.
Yeah, what a great set. You know, it was a tight pass, and she went up, got it, and set the ball perfectly right in the middle against a solo block.
Digged up and spiked down by Bierman, and it's a rebound up. And Lee will put it back on the other side. A good rally right now. Bierman tips it over the top, and Penn State, will they recover? Yes, Lee does a great job of recovering and getting it over the net. And Lofton tries to put a little dinker over the top, and it doesn't go over the net. So Penn State gets the point and takes the lead.
And what a great play by Kendall White, diving and getting that ball up so Simone Lee can get over and get the pass over. And then I'd like to see a more aggressive approach after Penn State's been scrambling around, especially by Deja Lofton, who's supposed to be, they have such high hopes for her.
Serve, and Bierman puts it down, and it's dug up by Penn State. We'll see what's called. I think a net violation, so the point will go to the Hoosiers. It's the first error of the night by both teams.
Yeah.
So Kendall Bierman will be back for the serve. Hoosiers tied with the #1 Penn State Nittany Lions, 4-4, and Bierman serves over the top of the net with the right hand. Put up and down with the kill. What a great kill right there by the number 19 of Heidi Thielen.
Yeah, and what a great play by her, going up, attacking, getting a high contact out the ball, hitting right over the block. And Kendall Bierman's right there and just needs to make the play, get her some ball control and get it right up so it help her team out.
Serve over the top, picked up by Bierman. And Bierman will kill it immediately right there to tie up the game. Hoosiers sticking with Penn State right now. They're playing not scared whatsoever by this #1 team in the country.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the season. Coach Dunbar knows she has a small team, and their motto for this season is release the venom. They don't care who they're playing. They want to attack. They don't care who's on the other side. They're going to attack you. Doesn't matter.
And an attacking error right there for Penn State. So Indiana gets the point and takes another lead, 6-5 in the first set. Lofton will serve, smacks it over with the right hand, picked up by Penn State, and killed down now, saved, and it will end up being a kill. Great kill right there for Heidi Thielen to tie things up again, 6-6.
Yeah, and you want to know what? IU is in position to make plays, and that's what they need to do. Now it's the first set, probably a little bit of jitters. Let them sink in, they'll start making those plays.
To serve Wisherker, and it'll be a service error, I believe. So Indiana will get the point 3 errors by Penn State. And you said it before the match started that if Penn State makes errors, that Indiana will have a shot.
Yeah, Indiana will have a shot if Penn State makes a lot of errors. And also, now IU had a great serving game last night against Rutgers. They have to have another good serving game, and there you go.
And there's an ace right there, a great ace. My number 1, Victoria Bistek. And we've been talking about her. She's a center that needs to be a little more consistent, but if she can get more consistency and give some aces like that, then Indiana will be a lot better.
Yeah, she had 5 aces against Rutgers, and it's going to be very important for her to use her serve. They're really going to need to use their serve, especially when they have it to get Penn State out of the system. Really limit their options so they don't get a lot of people involved.
Washington with the kill right there, and they has another service error, and so Penn State racking up errors early on in this game. Surprising that they make 4 errors so far in this game. They're not a team that makes a lot of errors, obviously. They're the number 1 team in the country. You normally don't make errors like that if you are the number 1 team in the country. Lee with a kill that just misses and gives Indiana yet another point, giving them a 3-point lead.
Yeah, that was a great swing by Simone Lee. You know, she went hard angle this time and just was out.
Serves over the top, dug in. And Lee with the kill now, blocked up front. What a great block by Hayden Hughes. And the Hoosiers are up by 4 now.
Yeah, great block by IU right now. And they're not one of those teams that like are a very good blocking team, but they have the height, and they can cause problems for the other teams offensively.
Meanwhile, on the other side, a kill by Penn State as Dietrich gets the point right there, making a 3-point lead now for the Hoosiers as Washington serves it up for Penn State. And it's dug in and set up, and Bierman just misses. So it'll be a 2-point lead now for the Hoosiers, and Washington gets another serve.
Yeah, it was a great spot. She knew right where she wanted to go and just happened to land out.
Washington smacks it hard with the right hand, and it's dug up and smacked down with a kill. Hayden Hubers, another kill.
Yeah, what a great save by Victoria Bisek. The one-handed set and just getting it up so Hayden Hubers can find the back corner.
It's her 2nd kill of the game. Gives Indiana a 3-point lead in the first set, 12-9. Serve right there that just misses. Nice job trying to go for the right corner, but she barely missed. And they'll give Penn State a serve now.
Yeah, she barely missed, but you know what? I like the aggressive approach they're taking. They need to be aggressive. When you're playing the number 1 team and have them at your home stadium, you need to be aggressive to try and make them make mistakes.
You have to take risks. And it's a kill. What a big-time kill right there by Asdell. And you like Asdell. You said they need to give this girl more touches.
Love Liz Asdell. Great, consistent. She's a consistent hitter. You know, I really think they need to get her a lot more touches, especially against the number 1 team.
13-10. Indiana leads by 3. I think a lot of people watching this right now are a little surprised that Penn State is this discombobulated as Lee goes in for the kill for Penn State.
What a great hit by Simone Lee. I mean, it's coming at you fast. You better get a double block up on her.
We'll be back to serve, coming off a terrific kill to make it a 2-point game. 13-11 in the first set. Lee hits it over the top. Dug up, set up, and thrown over the top by Malloy. And IU will recover. Grove, Malloy puts it up again and gets a kill.
It wasn't the prettiest play, but it works.
Nope, and IU's been composed. That's what I've seen so far from them early. They've stayed really composed against a really good team.
On those broken plays, you know, that was a great play. On the broken plays, they just need to find open court, and that's what they did.
Served by Bierman, picked up by Penn State. Spiked down, and it's a kill. What a terrific kill right there by Franti. Makes it a 2-point lead now for the Hoosiers, 14-12 in the first set.
Yeah, and what a great high swing by Franti. I mean, they need to start their blocking needs to be more. They need to get more aggressive at the net and start blocking, get some touches. They don't need to necessarily put them down, but at least get a hand on them.
Malloy puts it over, recovered by Penn State, and a terrific job right there by Franti to stay with the play and get the point. And so Penn State now only down by one, 14-13 in the first set. Serve over the top by Franti. It'll be picked up and smacked down by Malloy with the kill.
Yeah, what a great scene by Malloy. She has really come along for them. She had a streak of three matches where she led the team in kills, and they need a really big game from her if they want to help. They want to beat Penn State tonight.
Getting a lot of key contributions from a lot of players right now. The Hoosiers getting key contributions in the killing category right now, especially from Hubers and Asdell, and also Bierman. They need that spread out help from the Hoosiers to get a win today, and it's going to be popped up by Washington right over the top. And that's just a little mistake by Lebo right there. She just mistimed it.
Little mistake. Just would help if she could just be a little bit taller. She's in good position. Just need maybe take a step back. But when you're small, it's kind of hard to make a play on that ball.
Great awareness by Washington to notice the positioning of Lebo, and over the top, Malloy tries to get a kill. Recovered, and Washington gets a kill on the other end, tying things up at 15 apiece.
Penn State is good at making plays out broken plays. It wasn't the pretty. Cameron Moy hit right through the block. Wasn't the best set in the world, and they can somehow find a way to make a good play out of it.
Set up and put over, and a great save by Penn State. It's going to be a point for the Hoosiers, though. Almost a set by Burstack, which just goes over the net, and it kind of caught Penn State off guard.
Yeah, it's a good idea for setters to throw a couple of jumps in there here and now, and mix it up a little bit, keep Penn State on their toes, and it can cause a lot of problems and really help your offensive game out. It can really help create a lot of solo blocks, and that's what they need. They can't have Penn State getting a double block on these hitters. It's going to be a long game for them.
Indiana regains their lead by one now, 16-15, and Burstack puts the ball over the net with a right-hand serve. Set up, smacked down, and it's going to be set up now by the Hoosiers. And over the top, saved up by Penn State. Washington with the kill up front. What a great job. Washington came back with a great kill.
Yeah, let's talk about the play from Brianna Weiskircher. She just sets the ball over, and great play, great awareness by IU to keep it up, but in the end it just went right back over. An easy kill for Washington. Set her up.
When you have an athlete like Washington that can just go back and get a ball like that, there's not much you can do. Penn State will serve with the right hand of Holcomb. And over the top, it'll be a missed attack right there by Asdell. And that's a attack error for the Hoosiers. We'll give Penn State the lead now, 17-16.
And they are still within striking distance. They just need to eliminate their errors right now, and they can really they need to side out. Now, Service State to Penn State, they can side out, get some of this momentum back, get this crowd back into it. That can really help create a lot of momentum going into the second set, too.
Well, Coach Dunbar takes a timeout for the Hoosiers. They trail now by 2, 18-16. What do they need to do? What do you like so far from the Hoosiers first, and then we'll talk about what they need to do to keep this up.
What I like right now is they're getting a lot of people involved in this game, a lot of hitters involved, and they're not really making too many mistakes right now. That's what's keeping them in this game. Penn State, they got a couple of easy points off Penn State errors from the serving line, but if they can continue to be aggressive and keep Penn State out of the system, they have a chance in this game, and that's what they're going to need to continue to do.
Right now, Bierman leads things off for the Hoosiers with 3 kills, followed by Asdell with 2, Malloy with 2, Hubers with 2. We talked about the balance of the Hoosiers. How can they keep this up, and how can they stay with Penn State?
Well, they can keep it up by continuing to spread the attack out. Getting a lot of people in from right side, middles, their outsides, keep setting them, mixing it up, throwing a couple dumps in like she did earlier. But they also need to get their passing a little bit better. So their ball handling has not been the best, and they're in position to make this plays. Now they just need to get the ball handling so they can continue to run their offense.
So Penn
Some balls
State
alive.
comes back. Holcomb will have the serve to start things off coming off the IU timeout. Coach Dunbar trying to get things settled up for her team. And a serve picked up by the Hoosiers and spiked down by Asdale. She just misses, and it gives Penn State another point. Penn State has scored 4 now in a row to take a 19-16 lead.
And you know what? I really like that play that IU just ran. You know, Liz Asdale was played right side. Now, early in this game, she played outside, and then they just set her middle. She was a middle, actually, in high school.
Picked up over the top, will go. Yeah, Penn State will get the point, and the kill goes to number 7 of Abby Dietrich. Great kill by Penn State. Now they're starting to find their momentum now, starting to pull things together.
They're starting to play some really good volleyball and really causing a lot of problems for IU.
And IU's just missing another miss on a kill attempt right there by Malone. I think that's what, the second or third one that we've seen in the last 5 points. So they're going to need to start playing better, making these big shots, because you can't miss on easy ones like that to beat this team.
Yes. She didn't have a really good approach right there. She tried to go sharp angle, and it just didn't work.
And Malloy, his little shot, Malloy says it was touched, and she will get the point, so it's a kill by Malloy.
What a bailout. I mean, she did not snap her wrist. I mean, she just sent it sailing, and that was a really Penn State really bailed her out right there.
Great break right there for the Hoosiers as Malloy puts it over the net with a right-hand smack, and Lee will put it over the net for Penn State. Picked up Lebo to Asdale, and Asdale will get the kill.
Yeah, and you see, it all started with Penn State being out of system. Used the serve to get them out of system. They didn't get a great offensive set. And then look at that. Then they ran their offense, and Liz Asdale with the kill.
21-18 in the first set. Hoosiers trail Penn State by 3. Malloy with the serve over the top. Barely gets over the net as it tipped it. And Washington will try for the kill. She will get the kill, and Penn State goes back up by 4. And you're hearing the We Are Penn State chants coming a little bit now from the Penn State faithful. Penn State traveled fairly well for this game. I gotta say, I'm a little impressed by how they travel. They do a good job.
Yeah, Penn State loves their volleyball. When you're consistently ranked among one of the best, you're going to see a lot of fans.
And it's served up by Penn State, picked up and put over the top by Malloy. And a block up front, picked up by Penn State again. Leo put it over the top. And Britzstack over to Asdale for the kill.
What a great pass by Lebo right up to the net. Gave Victoria Britzstack a lot of options. And Liz Asdale's had the hot hand, and they go right to her.
I've got to say, I'm impressed by the Hoosiers setting right now. They've done a lot better in this game so far.
Yeah, they've done really good, really mixing it up a lot. Liz Asdale's gotten a lot. You have Kendall Bierman, who's attacking well. They're really spreading out all the attacks. Now they just need to get their middles involved a little bit more. That's the only thing that's missing.
The young server, Nora Meehan, the freshman, puts it over the top. Lee spikes it down, and it's going to be a kill for Lee. 23-19, 4-point lead for Penn State. And back to serve for the Nittany Lions will be Abby Dietrich. 2 points away from taking the set with Penn State. Set up, and Bierman gets blocked up front. They're going to give the point to the Hoosiers because the ball went out of bounds. So,
yeah, great double block by Penn State, but they just need to turn their press over the net a little bit more, turn their hands into the court, and that will easily go their way.
Indiana down by 3. 2 points needed for Penn State to end the set. Back to serve for the Hoosiers. Samantha Fogg, and she'll put it over the net. Picked up by Lofton. Put up, and Lofton will put it down for a kill. Daisha Lofton with a terrific kill. Makes it a 2-point lead for the Penn State Nittany Lions now.
And we said at the start that they need to use their serve to get them out of the system. That time it was an overpass, and it really set up their offense. They had a lot of options they could go to, and Daisha Lofton got the kill.
Timeout Penn State. The Hoosiers have rolled back a little bit. 2-point lead only in the first set. I've got to say, I'm telling you, people were not expecting this from the Hoosiers. They have come out with a lot of energy in this game, and Coach Dunbar has gotten this team going early and kept them composed through tough situations.
And Coach Dunbar, when I talked to Coach Dunbar earlier this week, she says this is one of her most energetic teams. They might have not won a game up until this weekend in the Big Ten, but this team has stayed confident, and they've been so close, set after set, match after match. Now, I think they're starting to find their groove on how to finish games. Right. They finished against Rutgers. Now that they've gotten that first win under the belt, it's really carrying over to this Penn State game, and we're seeing it. The only critique I have right now for them is everything for IU's defense right now is landing right in front of them. I'd really like to see their back rows take a step up and really see them control this offense of Penn State a little bit more.
So we'll see if the back row can get involved more. Coach Dunbar, obviously, she wants her team just to have confidence to compete with these big teams. That's the first step to becoming a contender in the Big Ten, is having the confidence to play against these teams. So far, Indiana showing that early in this one, only down by 2 in the first set, 23-21.
And there is still a lot of time left in this first set.
Picked up by Penn State, lead down low, and she will get the kill. So Penn State's 1 point away now from taking set 1. They're up 24-21.
And that's where you would like to see. The middle was a little late getting there. Lofton has to read that quicker and react quicker. She was late getting there and it deflected right off them and went down for the kill. If you don't get a double block on these Penn State hitters, it's going to be a long day for you.
Lee with the serve picked up. Bierman puts it over the top. Penn State recovers nicely. Lee with a kill attempt and she'll miss. And so, oh wow, I don't know about that one, but they're called in.
Yeah, they called a touch on that one.
Okay, that's so if it was called a touch, that ends the set. Penn State wins 25-21 in the first set. How did you feel though about the Hoosiers? This has got to be a real confidence booster from them. I know they lost this set, but they can come in the next set and bring that confidence right back. They're playing Penn State tight.
Yeah, to go toe-to-toe with the #1 team in the nation and being in your home gym, knowing you have the crowd behind you. I was really impressed with how they played. They got a lot of attackers involved. They used their serve to keep Penn State out of system. They just need to keep that energy up in the second set, and they just need to start making some of those plays that are from back row now. There's a couple plays where they were in position, just the ball handling wasn't there. Look for them to clean that up in the second set and really create some long rallies.
And keys to the success so far of the Hoosiers is a girl that you've been talking about highly of, Asdell. She has 4 kills so far in this game. They've given her more attempts early on. She hasn't hit every single one, but the more attempts you keep giving her, and she'll start producing.
Yeah, Liz Asdell has been one of the most consistent hitters on this team. And if IU wants to pull the upset against Penn State, it's going to be really important that she continues to have hit consistently, along with Bierman and Malloy. And setting up Asdell and Bierman is really going to help open the middle up and get Deja Lofton. That is a great front for IU to have all those attackers.
And we've been talking about the back end of this Indiana team needs to step up a little bit. Who do you think needs to step up to take this team to the next level, to get them competing and possibly winning a set or 2 against Penn State? Who needs to play at a higher level to get them there?
I think it always starts with defense. I really think Nora Meehan is real. Ever since she took over the libero position, it seems like their defense has gotten better. But now it's just the whole back row in general. She's the main one that's going to really need to control the back row for them and get a lot of digs for them and help. They're going to have to control the ball better in the second set to help run their offense. If you don't pass the ball, you're not going to have a good offense. It's going to make life easier for the other teams. It limits your options. And so that's the thing they're going to have to do in the second set, and Nora Meehan's going to have to start. It's going to start with Nora Meehan.
All right, well, Penn State, of course, great job by them responding. Their leader, and with no big surprise whatsoever, Washington with 6 kills and a hitting percentage of .714 in the first set. That's an unbelievable hitting percentage. Well, she really dominated that first set.
Yeah, well, she's an All-American, and she's been an All-American before. She's played this competition all 4 years at Penn State. And, I mean, when you have a coach like Russ Rose, I mean, He is an amazing coach. He's coached
30 years.
Yeah, he's coached a lot of All-Americans, so he knows how to coach these players up, and it's no surprise that Haley Washington has turned into one of those All-Americans for him.
About to begin the second set of action here. Penn State took set one, 25-21 over the Hoosiers. Hoosiers had multiple leads in the first set, so they showed that they could play with Penn State. We'll see if Indiana can rebound and win set number two. Back to serve for the Hoosiers, Victoria Bistak. She's played well so far, and the ace already in the game. We'll see if she can give some good serves here for the Hoosiers. Bistak puts it over with the right hand, picked up, and it's an ace for Bistak.
And she had 5 aces, like I said earlier, in the win against Rutgers, and she really is truly one of their best servers on this team. She can hit a lot of different zones. I mean, she knows who to target, and recently they've been targeting Simone Lee a lot. So look for that to continue.
Bistak puts it over, and a kill attempt by Washington, picked up by the Hoosiers, and over the top, picked up by Washington. Lee puts it over, picked up by Bierman. Set up over the top. Penn State recovers. Washington with another kill attempt, and it finally goes through the Indiana Hoosiers defense for a point.
Gosh, and what great ups by IU, but in the end, I mean, Penn State's offense is just too much.
They just keep coming at you. Every time you get it over the net and you think you have a shot, they just come back with something better.
Yeah.
Washington will put it over the top. That terrific hitting percentage today, and a really good recovery by Penn State right there in the right corner by Dietrich. As IU gets a kill.
And that's what IU's going to need to continue to do. Find ways to get points off broken plays.
Great kill by Malloy, and she'll be back to serve. 2-1 lead for the Hoosiers. Malloy serve over the top, picked up by Lee. Lee will spike it down hard, and she'll get a kill.
Again, they're in position to make the play. Now they just need to finish it and make the play.
Abby Deering back to serve. 2-2 in the second set. Bierman picks it up for the Hoosiers and thrown down by Malloy. Malloy will get a kill.
Wasn't the prettiest, but it's really hard to really block those back row attacks. You have to time them up perfectly, or else it goes off the top of the block, like we just saw right there.
Kill by Malloy right there. She's stepped up a lot too in this game. And it'll be put over the top by Meehan and out of play. So it'll be a point for the Nittany Lions. And we're at 3 apiece again.
Just close, just missed it. It looked like it was going to go in and just lands right out.
They're serving aggressively, and I think that's what you like to see from the Hoosiers. They're trying to make some big serves to catch Penn State off guard. Put up in the air and thrown down, picked up by Indiana, and will be set up again by Penn State for another round. And I believe it just missed, and Indiana will get the point.
And Penn State's looking for a touch right there. And
attacking error by Franti right there. And Samantha Fogg will be back. Hoosiers lead by 1, 4-3 in the second set. Still competing hard with the Nittany Lions. Fogg back. Serves it with the right hand. Puts it over the top. Picked up by Penn State. Over the top and a kill. Terrific kill by Thielen right there to tie things up again.
What a great set. Wow.
Perfect set by Penn State. Sets up a lethal kill.
But that's what Russ Rose has. He's always had great setters, and you just saw it right there.
Lofton with a kill on the other end, and she responds right away on the other side.
Great swing by Lofton, and it's very important that Indiana continues to side out and not give Penn State any runs.
They keep stopping Penn State's momentum so far. They're really making Penn State work, and you can tell Penn State wasn't expecting to work this hard maybe. And another aggressive serve goes over the back line and out of play, so it'll give Penn State another point off a service error.
And you hate those self-inflicted wounds. That's why they've lost so many close games. They've always had self-inflicted wounds that have cost them games. They really need to limit those, and especially against Penn State.
It's the third service error of the game for the Hoosiers. And tipped up by Malloy, and I think it hit the line. They're going to give Penn State a point, but I'd like to challenge that one. I think that was in.
Yeah, it looked like it was in.
I think they're going to talk about it. We'll see if they do, but no, they won't challenge it, so Penn State will get the point, but I thought that was awfully close.
Oh, it was a great play by Malloy. Great spot.
Over the top and a kill by Hayden Hubers.
Great swing by Megan Coors right there from the back row. She used to be the starting libero for them before Meehan took over, but now you see she can also, not only can she pass, she can also hit back row for them. Really adds another dimension to their offense.
Remember, 3 challenges a game. I'm kind of surprised that not a single one has been used so far in this game. Picked up by Washington, and a kill by Washington gives Penn State a 7-6 lead. But like I was saying, you see a lot, at least one challenge up at least in the first part of the game, and it hasn't been used at all. With the news like challenging, it really has helped the game and fixed calls. I'm surprised a little bit that not one has been used.
Yeah, well, most of this game it's been a lot of, there's been some close calls, but nothing too drastic that I think that.
You wouldn't want to fling one out there just to change momentum a little bit. Picked up a great dig. But it won't matter because Penn State will still get the point as Indiana couldn't recover. And so Penn State will take a 2-point lead in set number 2, 8-6 now. Back to serve be Holcomb. Waiting the referee arm to go across. She gets the okay. And Holcomb with the serve over the top of the net, picked up. And thrown down by Malloy. We'll get a whistle here. And there's going to be a timeout called by Indiana. And the error by the Hoosiers gives Penn State a 3-point lead. And Coach Dunbar will need to regroup her team here.
Yeah, she called a timeout. She knows she has a young team. She doesn't want to let this set slip away this early.
And Indiana is still very well in this game right now. Only down by 3. If they can put a solid run together, they have a huge chance.
Yeah, they're still very well in this game, like you said. They just need to clean up a couple of things, and they're right there. And one of the things is they're really going to need to start being more aggressive like they were in the first set. Getting Penn State out of system, not giving Haley Washington a lot of easy sets. And recently, in this second set, I mean, the setter has basically been right up at the net in system most of the time. I mean, when you're in system and you play at Penn State is known for good setting, playing good volleyball, and can really make your life bad when you have players like Haley Washington and Simone Lee and Ali Franchi.
Some things I'm looking at, IU does have more attack attempts, so that's always good that they're getting more attempts. But I look at digs too. When you see more digs, that means a lot of balls are going close to the floor and putting Penn State off balance. I'm looking at that and I'm seeing Indiana's getting this Penn State team off balance with a lot of good kill attempts. If they can keep that up, they've been playing very well in this game.
Yeah, they're keeping them off balance, and that's why. They're keeping them off balance. But one thing they need to do is they need to start finishing the play.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a team off balance, you need it, and it comes back, and you get the ball back. You need to run a smooth offense and really create another good offensive series on your side.
And a kill by Hubers on the other side right there. Makes it a 2-point game, and so back to serve will be Victoria Bristack to have a shot at making it a 1-point game. Can the Hoosiers string together a run here? Bristack serves it over with the right hand, picked up by Penn State. Served up, and Leo put it down with a kill.
What a great swing by Simone Lee. I mean, nice hard approach, high contact hits right through the block. I mean, she's been doing that for years.
Washington back to serve now. She's having a terrific game. She'll put it over the net. And it's thrown down Asdale with a kill attempt. It'll be blocked up, and the Hoosiers won't get a point. Good attempt by the Hoosiers to try to throw Penn State off balance, but Penn State not fooled, and they keep their composure to get another point.
What a swing by Dieter. Let's talk about Haley Washington. She can hit, she can block, she can pass.
8 points today for Washington with a .700 hitting percentage so far. And IU's looking for a tip. They won't get it. And so it's an error by the Hoosiers. I think that was tipped, but
it sounded like a touch to me too. Let's see if Dunbar wants to challenge it.
I think she's keeping it in her pocket. She won't do it, and Penn State will get the point. They lead by 5 now. Malloy puts it over the top, picked up by Penn State. Thrown over the top. What a great dig by Indiana. Asdale tries for a kill, and it's blocked up front. Simone Lee with a great block.
When you have a double block like that, I mean, you just need to try and find open court.
Timeout Hoosiers. Another timeout. Timeout number 2 in the set from the Hoosiers, and they'll try to regroup. They're down by 6. That's the largest lead for Penn State so far in this set. What do the Hoosiers need to do to regroup here?
They need to start. When they side out, they need to use their serve and try and limit and try and get them out of system to really limit who they can go to. Right now, Penn State this whole set has been in system, and when you're in system, it makes your life so much easier. And right, I just don't think IU has the experience right now to compete with them. Now, Penn State's right now taking this game, putting it in their pocket and running away with it. They're really going to need to get their ball handling a lot better. If you don't have ball handling, you're not going to win a lot of games. And they haven't had great ball handling at all this game.
We look at the team statistics. Indiana has had a lot of errors, and that also plays a factor in it. 8 attack errors, 3 service errors, and 2 reception errors. In total, right now they have 13 errors. That doesn't boast well to get a win as well, as Penn State has a lot less errors. They're only at it to 8 right now, so IU is +5 right now in the errors department.
Yeah, and you need to limit the amount of attack errors you have, especially against Penn State. They make you pay.
Malloy with a hard hit, and I think that was tipped. They'll get Penn State the point. I'm serious, that was tipped. That looked all right.
These are close.
They're very close. It's a close game right now.
Great pass.
Down hard and blocked up front. A terrific block right there by Tori Garrell to give Penn State a 15-7 lead now. They lead by 8.
And this is why Penn State's one of the best blocking teams in the nation.
Washington over the top with the serve. Picked up by Bristack and thrown over by Malloy. It's another block. Terrific block right there up front by Dietrich, and it gives Penn State a 9-point lead now.
Wow, they're just right now they seems like they really found their feel for this game, and now their blocking starting to set in. Their offense is clicking. Their passing has got better.
Washington over the top, barely gets it over, and it kind of helped her get an ace right there.
I mean, it's very hard when the ball just trickles over the net and the net affects it.
It can go any way, any direction. You don't know where it's going.
Right in front of you. Yep. It's very hard to react on those sometimes.
Gives Penn State a 10-point lead. Washington over the top, picked up Bristack to Hoosiers, and it's going to be another block. No, it'll be a Hoosiers point. So Indiana will finally score a point after Penn State went on a long run. Hoosiers down by 9 now.
Simone Lee does not like that. And now you see the senior in Jessica Lee, who provided a big spark last night.
A lot of close calls and a serve over the top by Leash. Picked up by Lee over the top and a terrific dig by Bristack, and Leo put it over the top and she'll miss. And so Indiana will get the point. An attack error. And Indiana has now strung together 2 points.
And I just love when setters make great plays like that. A pancake by Bristack to get it up.
Lee will put it over the top and she'll just flat out miss. Too much power on that serve, and it'll be another service error for the Hoosiers.
And serving's been one of the strong suits of IU in the past years, and this year in the non-conference it really was their strong suit. It kind of seems like they got away from it.
Another great dig, and Bierman will put it over the net for a kill.
Great swing through the double block, gets it right through him and lands in for the kill.
And you can kind of feel right now in the room, the Hoosiers fans are waiting for something to get up on their feet for. They want to give energy to this Hoosiers team. They're waiting for a few points to string together. So far, the Hoosiers have gotten it and recovered a little bit, pulling it down to 8 now. And then you have a surface over like that, and that's the 5th one of the game for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, when you're trying to get back into a game, especially against a ranked team like Penn State, #1 in the nation, you can't make those errors after a point and getting some momentum back on your side.
You have to string them together, and especially now by 9 now, you can't make mistakes whatsoever. It's paper thin right now in the mistake category, and Indiana keeps making them. And Penn State makes teams pay when you make mistakes. Back to serve for Penn State will be Emily Sikora. And she'll put it over the top of the net. And a kill, a miscommunication by the Hoosiers as Bierman and Asda almost ran into each other. And it set up a huge opportunity right there for Fanti, and she just capitalized, throwing it down hard.
Yeah, and she's a big contributor to this Penn State offense, and now it just seems like IU is just not in sync.
Totally discombobulated, and the Hoosiers will get thrown on by another kill from Penn State. Penn State now has their largest lead of the set with 11. 21-10. Penn State's starting to come together now.
Penn State is just playing beautiful volleyball. I mean, passes right where the setter wants them. I mean, they can go anywhere, and IU just has no clue what to do right now.
Bierman sets it over the top. Penn State recovers. And Indiana will get the point.
Double contact.
Double contact. So Indiana will get a point off of the error by Penn State. Samantha Fogg will be back to serve for the Hoosiers. They really need to string something together. If you have another error here, then you put Penn State in prime position to end the set. Hoosiers set it over the top, and a kill up front by Tori Gorell.
What a beautiful pass. I mean, we just keep talking about how their passing is getting better and better. And I mean, look at perfect pass right up to the net, and Tori Gorell with the kill. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
It makes it so easy for people that are trying to get kills when you have setters like this for Penn State.
Setters and great defense.
Lofted on the other end comes back with a ferocious kill.
And she's been quiet, and she's one of the players that really needs to get involved more in this game. But it's been hard for her to get involved because the passing for IU has not been where it needs to be.
Indiana trails by 10 right now. Serve over the top, picked up by Penn State, and over the top, a kill by Thielen.
I mean, they found something in the middle right now. They're just setting, I mean, every pass is just going right up, right where it needs to be. Every set right now has been, in the past couple of points, have been right in the middle. IU really needs to get a double block on that now.
They dig in by Penn State. Lofton puts her over the top, and Penn State playing terrific defense. Saves a huge point right there. And we'll see if it's tipped. It won't be tipped, so Penn State will get the point. But oh my goodness, what a great defensive play right there by Penn State.
What a play by Kendall White, reaching and diving, just hoping to get it up. I mean, she's been making plays like that all year for them.
Penn State has a chance to close out set number 2, up 24-12. IU needs to stay alive, and they do for at least one more point. 24-13 now.
And a great hit by Jessica Reese. You know, like we said, she provided a big spark for them in last night's win over Rutgers. They really need to get her going to give them another option to go to.
Mm-hmm. Back to serve will be Lebo, and Lebo put it up and over the net, picked up by Penn State. Washington will spike it down, and she will get the kill. That'll end set number 2. Penn State handles Indiana pretty well. Starting to find their groove. They lead 25-13. We're going to take a short break here, come back. Indiana trails 2-0 to the Penn State Nittany Lions. You're listening to Indiana Volleyball on your IUathletics.com network.
Your IU volleyball team will return to University Gym on Friday, November the 10th for a Big Ten Conference matchup against the Wisconsin Badgers. Come on out to U-Gym and support the Hoosiers. For more information, visit IUHoosiers.com.
It's beautiful watching this.
I want to learn from them. That is amazing.
There's so much talent.
All right, fans, please direct your attention to the court. It's time for the Dress Like a Hoosier contest.
5'11".
Brought to you by Luciano's.
It's silly.
Let's meet today's contestants.
Look
Emma.
at Washington's hit percentage, though. On
Raise your hand, Emma.
She has to her hit percentage.
Hi, nice to meet you. And Chloe.
She
The
doesn't
first
miss.
player to put on the jersey, spandex, knee pads, and then successfully hit the volleyball over the net wins. The winner will receive a gift
if they were
certificate
gonna
from
win, they need to
Luciano's.
get the
Contestants,
They need to win the first
are you
round.
ready?
Chance.
Get set. Go!
All Michigan State scores.
And that is how you want to start a game. Coming out, you're playing the number one team in the nation. You want to get the crowd involved. A great set to the outside to Liz Asdell, and a good start for her. It's big for her to have a big game tonight.
Away with the serve. Set up by Penn State. Washington bats it down, and it's going to be a point for Penn State. Great job by Washington with the kill.
Yeah, and Haley Washington's one of the players we talked about who they really need to slow down. Nora Meehan was in position to make the play. She just now has to make the play.
Now Washington would be back to serve. Washington serves over the top of the net, and it's dug up and smacked down. Picked up by Penn State and put over the top. Indiana rebounds quickly, and over the top of the Penn State front. A great hit by Hubers to put up the Hoosiers by 1. 2-1 now in the first set.
Yeah, and what a great tip. Right over the double block. Simone Lee was not there to make the play, and great start for the Hoosiers now.
Hoosiers doing very well early on, not being scared by the Penn State Nittany Lions. Serve over the top by Nora Meehan, and it's going to be a kill for Penn State.
Yeah, setter to the setter. Brianna Weiskircher to Abby Dietering. Great kill by her.
Great job by Penn State to rebound, and now they tie it up 2-2. Now back to serve, Jessica Lee.
And that is how you want to start a game. Coming out, you're playing the number one team in the nation. You want to get the crowd involved. A great set to the outside to Liz Asdell, and a good start for her. It's big for her to have a big game tonight.
Away with the serve. Set up by Penn State. Washington bats it down, and it's going to be a point for Penn State. Great job by Washington with the kill.
Yeah, and Haley Washington's one of the players we talked about who they really need to slow down. Nora Meehan was in position to make the play. She just now has to make the play.
Now Washington would be back to serve. Washington serves over the top of the net, and it's dug up and smacked down. Picked up by Penn State and put over the top. Indiana rebounds quickly, and over the top of the Penn State front. A great hit by Hubers to put up the Hoosiers by 1. 2-1 now in the first set.
Yeah, and what a great tip. Right over the double block. Simone Lee was not there to make the play, and great start for the Hoosiers now.
Hoosiers doing very well early on, not being scared by the Penn State Nittany Lions. Serve over the top by Nora Meehan, and it's going to be a kill for Penn State.
Yeah, setter to the setter. Brianna Weiskircher to Abby Dietering. Great kill by her.
Great job by Penn State to rebound, and now they tie it up 2-2. Now back to serve, Jessica Lee, Abby Dietering. And it's going to be popped up by Bierman and killed by Bierman. A great kill by Bierman to put the Hoosiers back up by 1.
Yeah, great high contact by Kendall Bierman. Hits right through the block. She has a lot of power. When you give her a high set like that, she can do a lot of multiple things. She can do a lot of things. She has a lot of shots she can do.
And they're going to rely on Bierman on a lot of cases on kills today. Back to serve is going to be Fogg, and Fogg will put it up, and a kill right there. What a shot right there by Tori Garrell. And now we're back at 3 apiece. Tie game in the first set.
Yeah, what a great set. You know, it was a tight pass, and she went up, got it, and set the ball perfectly right in the middle against a solo block.
Digged up and spiked down by Bierman, and it's a rebound up. And Lee will put it back on the other side. A good rally right now. Bierman tips it over the top, and Penn State, will they recover? Yes, Lee does a great job of recovering and getting it over the net. And Lofton tries to put a little dinker over the top, and it doesn't go over the net. So Penn State gets the point and takes the lead.
And what a great play by Kendall White, diving and getting that ball up so Simone Lee can get over and get the pass over. And then I'd like to see a more aggressive approach after Penn State's been scrambling around, especially by Deja Lofton, who's supposed to be, they have such high hopes for her.
So then Bierman puts it down, and it's dug up by Penn State. We'll see what's called. I think a net violation, so the point will go to the Hoosiers. It's the first error of the night by both teams.
Yeah.
So Kendall Bierman will be back for the serve. Hoosiers tied with the number 1 Penn State Nittany Lions, 4-4, and Bierman serves over the top of the net with the right hand. Put up and down with the kill. What a great kill right there by the number 19 of Heidi Thielen.
Yeah, and what a great play by her, going up, attacking, getting a high contact out the ball, hitting right over the block, and Kendall Bierman's right there and just needs to make the play, get her some ball control and get it right up so it help her team out.
Serve over the top, picked up by Bierman, and Bierman will kill it immediately right there to tie up the game. Hoosiers sticking with Penn State right now. They are playing not scared whatsoever by this number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the season. Coach Dunbar knows she has a small team, and their motto for whenever you want to.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Indiana playing the number 1 Penn State Nittany Lions. Trail 2-0, losing set 1, 25-21, and set 2, 25-13. I'm Justin Margolis, joined here by Brandon Riley. Brandon, the Hoosiers lost set 1 and set 2, but they did show promise in a couple of those sets. What did you like most from the Hoosiers?
What I liked most in the first set was they were really aggressive and got a lot of players involved. They got a lot of, they really moved Riz Azza around. You know, she's played right side most of the time. She went from right side to outside to middle. And they were passing a little bit better and more aggressive with their serve. In the second set, they really got away from that. Their serves weren't as aggressive. And Penn State's passing just got a lot better. I think that was the main thing. They were really playing smooth volleyball. So in the second set, in the third set, I'd really like to see IU really be more aggressive like they were in the first set. Get off to an early lead, get some momentum, get some confidence, and then try and run away with it. Continue to hit, continue to set a lot of people, get a lot of people involved so they can't just sit on other players. In the second set, they really sat on a lot of the outside hitters because their passes weren't as crisp, and they didn't get a lot of easy hits like they were in the first set.
As for Penn State, they recovered nicely in the second set, showing off why they are the number 1 team in the country, and that started off with passing and defense. They really showed off their arsenal of talent.
Yeah, they showed off. I mean, their passing was exceptional, especially at the end of the second half. Everything was right where it needed to be. It seemed like they found something at the end of the second set. Just every ball was set right to the middle, to their middles. I mean, they ran a lot of different plays. This is an experienced team, whereas IU is inexperienced. So you kind of saw it coming, but look for in this third set to see if they look for IU to try and get them out of system and not give them those easy hits.
Penn State starts things off by serving, and Malloy will put it over the top. Malloy will get a kill to start things off for the Hoosiers. Hoosiers lead 1-0 in set 3 to start things off.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do to come in the second set. And smart play by Malloy, tipping right over the block. I don't think Penn State expected that on the first hit.
Malloy will put it over as it's picked up by Penn State. Lee puts it over, dug in, picked up. Malloy over the top, picked up by Penn State again. Washington will dip it over the top of the front 3 for Indiana and will get a point and tie things up at 1 apiece. Great job by Washington with the awareness to put it over the top.
Yeah, great job all around. I mean, she just read the play, saw she was going to roll it. Cameron Malloy dropped her elbow, and then, I mean, they went right back to her.
Washington with the serve. Libro with the Bilder with the hit, and she will get the kill. It'll be 2-1 now.
Great swing by Bierman, but great offense by IU. They went fast, and the block was a little late getting there. So it went right off the block and out of play, and great point by IU.
Didn't let Penn State get set up.
Yeah.
And that's how you get your points against Penn State. Serve over the top, picked up and spiked down, and a great job right there by Meehan to pick it up again. And Meehan helped to get the Hoosiers a huge point right there. They are up by 2 now, take a 3-1 lead with the kill by Lofton.
Yeah, great kill by Lofton, hitting right into the block. Sometimes most hitters will try and avoid the block, but she saw they weren't pressed over net, hit right into them, and it landed right on their side.
Meehan with the serve, picked up by Penn State. Leo tip it over the top. Recovered nicely by Indiana. Malloy put it over the top, and she just misses on the kill attempts.
And you'd like to see IU be a little more smarter with that play. The ball was really low. You'd like to see them just push it over, try and spot the ball, or just bump it over. Don't give Penn State these easy kills.
It felt a little rushed as well on that play right there. Bierman picks things up, and it'll be thrown over the top by Asdell with the kill.
Great pass, and like we said, it all starts with the pass. A great high set to Liz Asdell, and made great contact. She only had one block, and I mean, Liz Asdell has played against this competition for a while, so she knows where to go with the ball, especially against a solo block.
Great kill by Asdell right there. Indiana leads by 2 again. A serve over the top. Well, picked up beautifully right there by Penn State. And Tori Farrell gets a terrific kill to give Penn State only a 1-point deficit now.
And Penn State, I mean, it seems like they found something in the middle where IU just is not handling it at all. They're going to need to start getting a double block on these middle attacks, because or else there's no way they're going to win this game.
Penn State recovers off of a Bierman tip. It'll be dug in and thrown over the top. Great effort. Meehan gets the ball over for the Hoosiers. And a tip in ends up giving Penn State a point as the Penn State Mini Lions stay cool and composed and finish off the play. Ferretti gets a terrific kill, and Penn State ties things up.
Yeah, great play by Bierman to keep it alive. They just now need to make that last play to keep the ball alive again in the back row by Malloy. She just couldn't.
Service on the other side, and they'll give the Hoosiers a lead again as Simone Lee missed on her serve. Ball tipped over the net, and a bat down that just will miss. So Penn State will tie things up again at 5 apiece, and they'll get another serve attempt.
Penn State walked out there. I mean, she just put that right, gave it to them, and they just swing out. A little miscommunication by Lofton and Malloy. They both went for it, and I think that caused the out-of-bounds hit.
White with the serve, picked up by Bierman. Bristack puts it over the top. And Bierman recovers nicely. Set up for Lofton, and Lofton with the kill.
Great play by Bristack. You know, throw something a little different at them. They got a free ball after her little dump, and then great pass by Bierman and set up Deja Lofton. Really nice.
And they need to get her more involved to get a win here, at least in a set.
Yeah, she has been very quiet, and they have high hopes for Deja, but she hasn't been able to get going.
Rebound with the serve. Picked up by Penn State and thrown down hard, and Penn State ties things up again at 6 apiece. Great kill by Washington.
The block was again late being there. We talked about it. The block needs to get there against these experienced hitters. Your block is not on time. It's going to be a long day. These are experienced hitters. They've been playing for Coach Russ Rose for a while. So
that's the 11th kill, by the way, for Washington. A point for Penn State. On an attack error from Indiana, gives Penn State the lead. Well, 12 points for Washington, a 769 hitting percentage. Through 2.5 sets, really, almost. Bierman, did she get the corner? No, she did not. And so Penn State will get another point and another attack error. Indiana trails by 2. And Penn State will get another serve. Back to serve for Penn State. Windshiker, and she'll put off her nice one and get blocked by Franti, and so Franti with a great block gives Penn State another point, and now they're up by 9. Timeout Hoosiers, they need to regroup. Penn State has recomposed and taken the lead.
Yeah, they're one of the best blocking teams in the nation there's a great reason why. They just know how to read a play when it develops.
Penn State leads 9-6. Some individual stats so far from the Hoosiers. A lot of kills spread out between the Hoosiers so far. Bierman with 6, Malloy with 6, then followed by Asdell and Lofton with 5, and Hebers with 4. As for Penn State, they're run by their terrific All-American Washington with 11 kills, then followed by Lee with 6, and then a lot of players on Penn State with 4. Franti, Garrell, Dietrich, and Phelan, all with 4 kills. Team totals right now, Indiana trailing the kill category. They have 17 attackers so far in this game. That is a ridiculous amount of attack errors.
Yeah, you can have a lot of attacking errors when you're playing against Penn State. They usually capitalize on those, and that's why Penn State is number 1. They make teams make other errors. They make teams make errors, and they don't commit a lot of errors themselves.
And in this game, I've just felt like Penn State has made Indiana almost rush up a little bit more on plays and not take their time. And Indiana needs to start calming down and taking their time. And a kill by Bierman makes it a 2-point game now. Yeah. Great job by Bierman.
Yeah, great swing in the back row from Bierman. It was a high set. And you know what? Now they just need to get this passing a little bit better so they can get more plays like that for their front row attackers. It seems like right now the passing has been really bad, and it's really been the only place to go.
Served up and set up for Washington for a kill. Washington with her 12th kill of the night.
And again, she's just hits right over the block.
So wow. Consistent. You can't do anything about it.
She's consistent, but IU also their block has to get there faster. Their block is still late getting there. When you don't have a block, it makes it rough on your back row players.
Picked up by Bierman, thrown over the top, and it's a great block right there. That gives Penn State another point. They have a 4-point lead now. Penn State starting to put things together as Dietrich got the block.
Who says setters can't play defense?
Over the top, Asdell with a kill attempt, and it's blocked again by Penn State. A terrific block by Dietrich again.
Great block. Even though she was there, she just needs to turn her hands in, but great awareness by Asdell to get the block.
It's actually going to be a point for the Hoosiers because they went out of bounds, so.
Great attack by Asdell to swing. She saw the block. She saw the block was late getting there. Her hands weren't turned into the court, and she used the block to her advantage.
And meanwhile, on the other end, Lee gets a kill right down, just a straight down spike. Indiana couldn't recover quick enough, and they take a 4-point lead, 12-8 in the set. Back to serve Washington. Washington puts everything into her serve. And Indiana recovers. Bierman with the attack. Picked up by Penn State again. Lee on the other end. Block. And Indiana will get the point. A terrific block by Malone.
Great swing by Malloy. And Haley Washington doesn't think she touched that, but ref called it. Point IU, and now they really need it. Now they really need to use their serve right now and try and get them out of system. Try and get some points, get a scoring run to get back into this game.
Over the top serve right there by Meehan, and over the top lead, dumps it over, and Indiana can't recover, and it's another point for Penn State. 13-9 now in the third set. Penn State leads by 5.
And she was just a little late diagnosing that play. She got it up, but she only could use one hand, and when you use one hand, you don't have a lot of control.
Bierman picks it up for Indiana, and we'll see what the call is here. Was it a carry or a violation? All right, so Indiana gets a net violation, and it'll give Penn State another point. They lead 14-9 now. Serve over the top. Bierman digs it in, and Penn State finishes things off. Thielen with the kill.
And that's been the story in the second set. Now the third set is the passing. It's either an overpass or it's a pass. Not even up to the 10-foot line, really.
Daisha Lofton tries to recover the ball, and Asdale chases it down over in the left corner. She can't reach it, and so Penn State gets another point. Timeout Hoosiers again, 16-9. Penn State having their way right now at the Hoosiers as they lead by 7. The Hoosiers are starting to feel the pain that Penn State provides of being the most talented team in the country.
Yeah, and that's why Penn State is one of the best teams in the country. They have the senior leadership this year and the experienced players that can win big games. You know, they've been through this where they had young players and they competed and were close to winning. Now they've gotten over that hump and they're consistently winning. IU is very young. So to even be in the match with like the number one team who has a lot of seniors and a lot of experience in playing in big games like this is really tremendous. They have a bright future ahead.
Yeah, and I agree. IU's played extremely close, a lot better than other teams that played Penn State. And I don't think a lot of people thought that IU could play this well, but they've played well. They've held their own, I think, in this game.
Yeah, they've held their own. There's been some small things that they just need to tune out. Errors, they need to limit their errors, and their ball handling just needs to get better. They just haven't had the best ball handling, and they think that's starting to kill them.
Back to serve, Abby Dutry. Winning the OK. She gets it. And the serve by Dutry goes over the top. And Malloy gets a bad set. And so it'll be an ace for Dutry. Dutry with another serve. And that one will miss, so Indiana will get a point. They trail by 7, 17-10. Indiana's really going to need to put together a stretch here. They have to right now, because if you don't, Penn State has an 18-10 lead, and they have a chance to put away the game. And you don't want to give Penn State the ball back.
Yeah, they really can't afford any errors like they have in the last couple of sets. And
a block attempt by Indiana, no good. As the kill goes to Heidi Thielen. And it's an 18-10 lead now. It's going to be fairly difficult for Indiana now to come back down 8.
Another big swing and a different attacker for Penn State. I mean, she used Kendall Bierman's block to hit it right out, deflect it right out of bounds. Great play.
And Lofton comes in with the kill, and she gets fired up. Maybe that gets her going.
That's what and they need her to get going. Great swing straight down. That's what they haven't had at all this game is Deja Lofton having those big swings in the middle.
If they can get more of those, they'll have a shot, but they need to do it quickly because Penn State has a 7-point lead in the third set. Lofton with another kill attempt. It'll be tipped up, and Malloy put it over the top. Picked up by Penn State. Down hard and finished off by Thielen.
And it was they had a good double block there to just mistimed that and it went right through them.
Penn State leads again by 8, 19-11. They are 6 points away from putting this game to rest. Back to serve Kendall White, and she'll put it over the net. And the ball will travel out of bounds off the set attempt by Indiana. And so it'll be another point for Penn State. 20-11 now. Kill by Thielen. White will serve it up again. And it'll go off the arms of, I believe it was Lofton. So a service ace will happen again off of Bierman. Back-to-back service aces for White, and she'll get another serve here. Can White get another ace? White puts it in, and the ball goes over the net, picked up. Malloy with the kill attempt, and it'll go off the rafters. A crazy bounce, picked up again. Great job by Penn State to recover. It won't matter to go out of bounds on the kill attempt on attacking area, and Indiana will get a point.
Great way to stay with the play, even though it hit the reactors, bounced around a little bit.
You don't know which way that ball's going to go off the rafters.
A great way for them to like just stay focused and ready to go wherever the ball was going to go.
Lebo back deep to serve, and she'll get it over the net. Thrown over the top, and a great kill by Lane Pierce. Point Penn State, 22-12 lead, 10-point lead. Penn State 3 points away now from ending things.
Yeah, great play by Penn State again. Dietering with a great high set. I mean, just putting it up there. Letting her attackers go after it.
Another point by Penn State on the other end. The service ace by Witchhiker. And she'll serve it up again. Indiana picks that one up. It'll be thrown over the top with a kill by Hayden Hubers.
And Hayden Hubers has come along for them. She's really sparked a lot of energy into this team coming in to playing middle for them throughout the whole season. And great swing for her and great kill.
Well, the Hoosiers are on a lifeline right now. They trail 23-13, 2 points away. Penn State only needs 2 to put them away. Can Indiana stay in the game? Another terrific play by Hayden Hubers. Keeps Indiana in it.
Great serve by Bozak. I mean, short, calls an overpass, and great swing for Hubers to finish the play for them. That's what they need.
Indiana puts together back-to-back points, and Hubers puts another serve over the top of the net. Picked up, and another kill. Coming fresh off the bench, Nia Reed. And she put together 2 really important kills for the Penn State Nittany Lions in the end of this game.
She's just used to making plays for this team. Even for IU, you'd really like to see them get their blocking a little bit better. I mean, it really is hard for your back row defense to get in position when you don't have a block.
Match point here, serve over the top, picked up by Indiana. And Malloy put it over the top, and at least one more point. The Hoosiers will stay alive. 24-15 now in the third set. Like I said earlier, they trail 2-0 in the game, so this is the last point of the game. The Hoosiers cannot make an error, and they have to win every single point for the rest of the set to stay in it. Washington finishes things off. Game over. Washington the hero. Penn State wins again.
And who else are we going to go to than your All-American Haley Washington?
Washington finishes things off 14.5 points, 13 kills with an 800% killing percentage. Unbelievable game.
And that is how you want to start a game. You know, coming out, you're playing the #1 team in the nation. You want to get the crowd involved. A great set to the outside to Liz Asdell, and a good start for her. It's big for her to have a big game tonight.
Away with the serve. Set up by Penn State. Washington bats it down, and it's going to be a point for Penn State. Great job by Washington with the kill.
Yeah, and Haley Washington's one of the players we talked about who they really need to slow down. Norman was in position to make the play. She just now has to make the play.
Now Washington will be back to serve. Washington serves over the top of the net, and it's dug up and smacked down. Picked up by Penn State and put over the top. Indiana rebounds quickly, and over the top of the Penn State front A great hit by Hubers to put up the Hoosiers by 1. 2-1 now in the first set.
Yeah, and what a great tip right over the double block. Simone Lee was not there to make the play, and great start for the Hoosiers now.
Hoosiers doing very well early on, not being scared by the Penn State Nittany Lions. Serve over the top by Moore-Meehan, and it's going to be a kill for Penn State.
Yeah, setter to the setter. Brianna Weiskircher to Abby Dietering. Great kill by her.
Great job by Penn State to rebound, and now they tie it up 2-2. Now back to serve Abby Dietering. And it's going to be popped up by Bierman and killed by Bierman. A great kill by Bierman to put the Hoosiers back up by 1.
Yeah, great high contact by Kendall Bierman. Hits right through the block. She has a lot of power. When you give her a high set like that, she can do a lot of multiple things. She can do a lot of things. She has a lot of shots she can do.
And they're going to rely on Bierman on a lot of cases on kills today. Back to serve is going to be Fogg, and Fogg will put it up and a kill right there. What a shot right there by Tori Garrell. And now we're back at 3 apiece. Tie game in the first set.
Yeah, what a great set. You know, it was a tight pass, and she went up, got it, and set the ball perfectly right in the middle against a solo block.
Digged up and spiked down by Bierman, and it's a rebound up. And Lee will put it back on the other side. A good rally right now. Bierman tips it over the top, and Penn State, will they recover? Yes, Lee does a great job of recovering and getting it over the net. And Lofton tries to put a little dinker over the top, and it doesn't go over the net. So Penn State gets the point and takes the lead.
And what a great play by Kendall White, diving and getting that ball up so Simone Lee can get over and get the pass over. And then I'd like to see a more aggressive approach after Penn State's been scrambling around, especially by Deja Lofton, who's supposed to be, they have such high hopes for her.
Serve, and Bierman puts it down, and it's dug up by Penn State. We'll see what's called. I think a net violation, so the point will go to the Hoosiers. It's the first error of the night by both teams.
Yeah.
So Kendall Bierman will be back for the serve. Hoosiers tied with the number 1 Penn State Nittany Lions, 4-4, and Bierman serves over the top of the net with the right hand. Put up and down with the kill. What a great kill right there by the number 19 of Heidi Thielen.
Yeah, and what a great play by her, going up, attacking, getting a high contact out the ball, hitting right over the block. And Kendall Bierman's right there and just needs to make the play, get her some ball control and get it right up so it help her team out.
Serve over the top, picked up by Bierman. And Bierman will kill it immediately right there to tie up the game. Hoosiers sticking with Penn State right now. They are playing not scared whatsoever by this number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the season. Coach Dunbar knows she has a small team, and their motto for this season is release the venom. They don't care who they're playing. They want to attack. They don't care who's on the other side. They're going to attack you. Doesn't matter.
And an attacking error right there for Penn State. So Indiana gets the point and takes another lead, 6-5 in the first set. Lofton will serve, smacks it over with the right hand, picked up by Penn State, and killed down now, saved. And it will end up being a kill. Great kill right there for Heidi Thielen to tie things up again, 6-6.
Yeah, and you want to know what? IU is in position to make plays, and that's what they need to do now. It's the first set, probably a little bit of jitters. Let them sink in. They'll start making those plays.
To serve Wisherker, and it'll be a service error, I believe. So Indiana will get the point. 3 errors by Penn State. And you said it before the match started that if Penn State makes errors, that Indiana will have a shot.
Yeah, Indiana will have a shot if Penn State makes a lot of errors. And also, now IU had a great serving game last night against Rutgers. They have to have another good serving game, and there you go.
And there's an ace right there, a great ace by number 1, Victoria Bistek. And we've been talking about her. She's a center that needs to be a little more consistent, but if she can get more consistency and give some aces like that, then Indiana will be a lot better.
Yeah, she had 5 aces against Rutgers, and it's going to be very important for her to use her serve. They really going to need to use their serve, especially when they have it to get Penn State out of the system. Really limit their options so they don't get a lot of people involved.
Washington with a kill right there, and has another service error, and so Penn State racking up errors early on in this game. Surprising that they make 4 errors so far in this game. They're not a team that makes a lot of errors, obviously. They're the number 1 team in the country. You normally don't make errors like that if you are the number 1 team in the country. Lee with a kill that just misses and gives Indiana yet another point, giving them a 3-point lead.
Yeah, that was a great swing by Simone Lee. You know, she went hard angle this time and just was out.
Serve over the top, dug in. And Lee with the kill now, blocked up front. What a great block by Hayden Hubers. And the Hoosiers are up by 4 now.
Yeah, great block by IU right now. And they're not one of the those teams that like are a very good blocking team, but they have the height and they can cause problems for the other teams offensively.
Meanwhile, on the other side, a kill by Penn State as Dietrich gets the point right there, making a 3-point lead now for the Hoosiers as Washington serves it up for Penn State. And it's dug in and set up, and Bierman just misses. So it'll be a 2-point lead now for the Hoosiers, and Washington gets another serve.
Yeah, it was a great spot. She knew right where she wanted to go and just happened to land out.
Washington smacks it hard with the right hand, and it's dug up and smacked down with a kill. Hayden Hubers, another kill.
Yeah, and what a great save by Victoria Bizek. The one-handed set and just getting it up so Hayden Hubers can find the back corner.
It's her second kill of the game. Gives Indiana a 3-point lead in the first set, 12-9. Serve right there that just misses. Nice job trying to go for the right corner, but she barely missed. And they'll give Penn State a serve now.
Yeah, she barely missed, but you know what? I like the aggressive approach they're taking. They need to be aggressive. When you're playing the number 1 team and have them at your home stadium, you need to be aggressive to try and make them make mistakes.
You have to take risks. And it's a kill. What a big-time kill right there by Asdell. And you like Asdell. You said they need to give this girl more touches.
Love Liz Asdell. Great, consistent. She's a consistent hitter. You know, I really think they need to get her a lot more touches, especially against the number 1 team.
13-10. Indiana leads by 3. I think a lot of people watching this right now are a little surprised that Penn State is this discombobulated as Lee goes in for the kill for Penn State.
What a great hit by Simone Lee. I mean, it's coming at you fast. You better get a double block up on her.
We'll be back to serve, coming off a terrific kill to make it a 2-point game. 13-11 in the first set. Lee hits it over the top. Dug up, set up, and thrown over the top by Malloy. And IU will recover. Grove, Malloy puts it up again and gets a kill.
It wasn't the prettiest play, but it works.
Nope, and IU's been composed. That's what I've seen so far from them early. They've stayed really composed against a really good team.
On those broken plays, you know, that was a great play. On the broken plays, they just need to find open court, and that's what they did.
Served by Bierman, picked up by Penn State. Spiked down, and it's a kill. What a terrific kill right there by Franti. Makes it a 2-point lead now for the Hoosiers, 14-12 in the first set.
Yeah, and what a great high swing by Franti. I mean, they need to start their blocking needs to be more. They need to get more aggressive at the net and start blocking, get some touches. They don't need to necessarily put them down, but at least get a hand on them.
Malloy puts it over, recovered by Penn State, and a terrific job right there by Franti to stay with the play and get the point. And so Penn State now only down by 1, 14-13 in the first set. Serve over the top by Franti. It'll be picked up and smacked down by Malloy with the kill.
Yeah, what a great swing by Malloy. She has really come along for them. She had a streak of 3 matches where she led the team in kills, and they need a really big game from her if they want to help. They want to beat Penn State tonight.
Getting a lot of key contributions from a lot of players right now. The Hoosiers getting key contributions in the killing category right now, especially from Hubers and Asdell, and also Bierman. They need that spread out help from the Hoosiers to get a win today, and it's going to be popped up by Washington right over the top. And that's just a little mistake by Lebo right there. She just mistimed it.
Little mistake. Just would help if she could just be a little bit taller. She's in good position. Just need maybe take a step back. But when you're small, it's kind of hard to make a play on that ball.
Great awareness by Washington to notice the positioning of Lebo, and over the top, Malloy tries to get a kill. Kill recovered, and Washington gets a kill on the other end, tying things up at 15 apiece.
Penn State is good at making plays on broken plays. It wasn't the pretty. Cameron Moy hit right through the block. Wasn't the best set in the world, and they can somehow find a way to make a good play out of it.
Set up and put over, and a great save by Penn State. It's going to be a point for the Hoosiers, though. Almost a set by Burstack, that just goes over the net, and it kind of caught Penn State off guard.
Yeah, it's a good idea for setters to throw a couple of jumps in there here and now, and mix it up a little bit, keep the defense, keep Penn State on their toes, and it can cause a lot of problems and really help your offensive game out. It can really help create a lot of solo blocks, and that's what they need. They can't have Penn State getting a double block on these hitters. It's going to be a long game for them.
Indiana regains their lead by 1 now, 16-15, and Burstack puts the ball over the net with a right-hand serve. Set up, smacked down, and it's going to be set up now by the Hoosiers. And over the top, saved up by Penn State. Washington with the kill up front. What a great job. Washington came back with a great kill.
Yeah, and let's talk about the play from Brianna Weiskircher. She just sets the ball over, and great play, great awareness by IU to keep it up, but in the end it just went right back over. An easy kill for Washington. Set her up.
When you have an athlete like Washington that can just go back and get a ball like that, there's not much you can do. Penn State will serve with the right hand of Holcomb. And over the top, it'll be a missed attack right there by Asdell. And that's a attack error for the Hoosiers. We'll give Penn State the lead now, 17-16.
And they are still within striking distance. They just need to eliminate their errors right now, and they can really they need to side out. Now service to Penn State, they can side out, get some of this momentum back, get this crowd back into it. That can really help create a lot of momentum going into the second set too.
Well, Coach Dunbar takes a timeout for the Hoosiers. They trail now by 2, 18-16. What do they need to do? What do you like so far from the Hoosiers first, and then we'll talk about what they need to do to keep this up.
What I like right now is they're getting a lot of people involved in this game, a lot of hitters involved, and they're not really making too many mistakes right now. That's what's keeping them in this game. Penn State, they got a couple of easy points off Penn State errors from the serving line, but if they can continue to be aggressive and keep Penn State out of system, they have a chance in this game, and that's what they're going to need to continue to do.
Right now, Bierman leads things off for the Hoosiers with 3 kills, followed by Asdell with 2, Malloy with 2, Hubers with 2. We talked about the balance of the Hoosiers. How can they keep this up, and how can they stay with Penn State?
Well, they can keep it up by continuing to spread the attack out. Getting a lot of people in from right side, middles, their outsides, keep setting them, mixing it up, throwing a couple dumps in like she did earlier. But they also need to get their passing a little bit better. So their ball handling has not been the best, and they're in position to make this plays. Now they just need to get the ball handling so they can continue to run their offense.
So Penn
State balls alive.
Comes back. Holcomb will have the serve to start things off coming off the IU timeout. Coach Dunbar trying to get things settled up for her team. And a serve picked up by the Hoosiers and spiked down by Asdell. She just misses, and it gives Penn State another point. Penn State has scored 4 now in a row to take a 19-16 lead.
And you know what? I really like that play that IU just ran. Liz Asdell was played right side. Now, early in this game, she played outside, and then they just set her middle. She was a middle, actually, in high school.
Picked up over the top, will go. Yeah, Penn State will get the point, and the kill goes to number 7 of Abby Dietrich. Great kill by Penn State. Now they're starting to find their momentum now, starting to pull things together.
They're starting to play some really good volleyball and really causing a lot of problems for IU.
And IU's just missing another miss on a kill attempt right there by Malone. I think that's what, the second or third one that we've seen in the last 5 points. So they're going to need to start playing better, making these big shots, because you can't miss on easy ones like that to beat this team.
Yes. She didn't have a really good approach right there, and she tried to go sharp angle, and it just didn't work.
And Malloy, his little shot, Malloy says it was touched, and she will get the point, so it's a kill by Malloy.
What a bailout. I mean, she did not snap her wrist. I mean, she just sent it sailing, and that was a really Penn State really bailed her out right there.
Great break right there for the Hoosiers as Malloy puts it over the net with a right-hand smack, and Lee will put it over the net for Penn State. Picked up Lebo to Asdell, and Asdell will get the kill.
Yeah, and you see, it all started with Penn State being out of system. Used the serve to get them out of system. They didn't get a great offensive set. And then look at that. Then they ran their offense, and Liz Asdell with the kill.
21-18 in the first set. Hoosiers trail Penn State by 3. Malloy with the serve over the top. Barely gets over the net as it tipped it. And Washington will try for the kill. She will get the kill, and Penn State goes back up by 4. And you're hearing the We Are Penn State chants coming a little bit now from the Penn State faithful. Penn State traveled fairly well for this game. I gotta say, I'm a little impressed by how they travel. They do a good job.
Yeah, Penn State loves their volleyball. When you're consistently ranked among one of the best, you're going to see a lot of fans.
And it's served up by Penn State, picked up and put over the top by Malloy. And a block up front, picked up by Penn State again. Leo put it over the top. And Britzstack over to Asdell for the kill.
What a great pass by Lebo right up to the net. Gave Victoria Britzstack a lot of options. And Liz Asdell's had the hot hand, and they go right to her.
I've got to say, I'm impressed by the Hoosiers' setting right now. They've done a lot better in this game so far.
Yeah, they've done really good, really mixing it up a lot. Liz Asdell's gotten a lot. You have Kendall Bierman, who's attacking well. They're really spreading out all the attacks. Now they just need to get their middles involved a little bit more. That's the only thing that's missing.
The young server, Nora Meehan, the freshman, puts it over the top. Lee spikes it down, and it's going to be a kill for Lee. 23-19, 4-point lead for Penn State. And back to serve for the Nittany Lions will be Abby Dietrich. 2 points away from taking the set with Penn State. Set up, and Bierman gets blocked up front. They're going to give the point to the Hoosiers because the ball went out of bounds. So,
yeah, great double block by Penn State, but they just need to turn their press over the net a little bit more, turn their hands into the court, and that will easily go their way.
Indiana down by 3. 2 points needed for Penn State to end the set. Back to serve for the Hoosiers. Samantha Fogg, and she'll put it over the net. Picked up by Lofton. Put up, and Lofton will put it down for a kill. Daisha Lofton with a terrific kill. Makes it a 2-point lead for the Penn State Nittany Lions now.
And we said at the start that they need to use their serve to get them out of the system. That time it was an overpass, and it really set up their offense. They had a lot of options they could go to, and Daisha Lofton got the kill.
Timeout, Penn State. The Hoosiers have rolled back a little bit. 2-point lead only in the first set. I've got to say, I'm telling you, people were not expecting this from the Hoosiers. They have come out with a lot of energy in this game, and Coach Dunbar has gotten this team going early and kept them composed through tough situations.
And Coach Dunbar, when I talked to Coach Dunbar earlier this week, she says this is one of her most energetic teams. They might have not won a game up until this weekend in the Big Ten, but this team has stayed confident, and they've been so close, set after set, match after match. Now, I think they're starting to find their groove on how to finish games. Right. They finished against Rutgers. Now that they've gotten that first win under the belt, it's really carrying over to this Penn State game, and we're seeing it. The only critique I have right now for them is everything for IU's defense right now is landing right in front of them. I'd really like to see their back rows take a step up and really see them control this offense of Penn State a little bit more.
So we'll see if the Buffalo can get involved more. Coach Dunbar, obviously, she wants her team just to have confidence to compete with these big teams. That's the first step to becoming a contender in the Big Ten, is having the confidence to play against these teams. So far, Indiana showing that early in this one. Only down by 2 in the first set, 23-21.
And there is still a lot of time left in this first set.
Picked up by Penn State, Lee down low, and she will get the kill. So Penn State's 1 point away now from taking set 1. They're up 24-21.
And that's where you would like to see. The middle was a little late getting there. Lofton has to read that quicker and react quicker. She was late getting there and it deflected right off them and went down for the kill. If you don't get a double block on these Penn State hitters, it's going to be a long day for you.
Lee with the serve picked up. Blumen puts it over the top. Penn State recovers nicely. Lee with a kill attempt and she'll miss. And so, oh wow, I don't know about that one, but they're called in.
Yeah, they called a touch on that one.
Okay, that's so if it was called a touch, that ends the set. Penn State wins 25-21 in the first set. How did you feel though about the Hoosiers? This